confirmation that Nottingham Forest are the biggest team in the East Midlands. Always have, always will be. End of. We beat Derby and Leicester in the space of 2 weeks. Absolutely annihilated Leicester. Who the hell are they? Annihilated that team that probably won't even be a thing in a few weeks' time. So, yeah. That's it, really, isn't it? You know, can't really say much more than that. Go and check out the vlog. Absolute scenes. Yep, let's see it. Anyway, the actual point of this video, I thought I'd talk about the FA Cup 4th round in a little bit more depth, talking about all the games as well as the mighty Nottingham Forest beating Leicester City. Let's talk about Forest first of all. I think we have to, really. Not that I haven't already made it very clear. ZINCK, Johnson, Wall. On it. Wall wasn't even expected to play and he scores. Absolute scenes. Gave it back to the Leicester fans. Bit stupid really from Joe. We're going to get fined for that because, you know, that's just the kind of thing that FA will do. But yeah, funny really. 3 goals in, 10 minutes. Leicester weren't on it. They weren't on it at all. I don't know what was wrong with them. And, you know, you can't really say that they haven't got a strong team out. They still had Ndidi, Tielemans, Maddison, Barnes. I didn't even notice Tielemans, and I think he's an amazing player, but I didn't even notice him at all. So, yeah, defensively they were dreadful. It could have been more than 4. It really could have been. Obviously, we had that poor mistake from Samba, but other than that, incredible. And Jed, of all the players, I'm so pleased Jed got a goal. In fact, it's off camera, but, you know. Jed. King Jed. You're probably thinking, does this lad not have anything other than Forest merchandise in his room? No, I don't. We have 3 to face Huddersfield Town in the next round. The 3rd time we're going to play them this season. It didn't go well when we last played them about, 5 weeks ago. So, yeah, hopefully we can win that. And if we do, we'll be in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup for the first time since 1960. Not 1960, 1996. I knew it was something to do with the 6. I knew that. Let's talk about Manchester United versus Middlesbrough, shall we? That was a very fun game of football. I watched that. I watched Birmingham v Sheffield in the Championship as well because, you know, I quite like football, believe it or not. So I watched that game at the end and it was pretty funny. I love it. I absolutely love it when big teams lose. It's just fantastic, especially to the underdog. And fair play to Boro. They sat back, defended. Yes, it definitely was a handball, let's face it really was, but I thought it was pretty funny that, you know, it was given. I'm not going to go into too much detail about United because it is such a big topic, but for me, Man U's problem is the fact that they've got Ronaldo. Everything revolves around him. That's the problem. The mentality is Ronaldo, get the ball to him. He's not prime Ronaldo anymore. He's, 37? You know, incredible. You know, he's just not the player he was. Boro won 8-7 on penalties, deservedly. They defended really well. Lango, of course, missed that penalty. Obviously, we've got to mention, of course, we shouldn't have to talk about it, but the racist stick that he got after the game for missing it, it was obviously going to happen because people are stupid and have no brain cells, really. So, yeah, it's a shame. It will never end, unfortunately. You can do anything, it won't stop. As for this next game, this could have quite easily have been one of the biggest FA Cup shocks probably ever, to be honest. Kidderminster Harriers versus West Ham would have been so funny if West Ham had got knocked out. And I don't despise them. I don't despise United, but you know they're not a top 6 side. But it would have been funny to see them get knocked out by a non-league club. But of course they took the lead, Kidderminster, early on and defended really well. But West Ham, they did rotate a little bit. They had players like Soucek and Rice on the bench, but they actually both came on and made a big impact. And of course Rice in the very last minute took the net out with that shot. What a shot that was. Of course, Bowen ended up getting the winning goal in the 120th minute. Huge shame for Kidderminster, but they put in a very good account of themselves. They're in the National League North as well, so fair play to them. Chelsea versus Plymouth Argyle. This was another game that could quite easily have been a massive shock, even bigger than West Ham. But unfortunately, it was not meant to be for Plymouth. They took the lead early on and held the lead for about half an hour. I did watch this game live. It was an early kickoff on Saturday, of course, and obviously it was AZPILICUETA that ended up equalising for Chelsea, English. And obviously they held them until the 105th minute, I believe it was. Incredible, incredible. And obviously it was Marcos Alonso. It was a great bit of play that led up to the goal between Werner and Havertz, and it found obviously Alonso. Really good play from Chelsea, but they shouldn't have had to go to extra time against Plymouth. No disrespect to them, but they should have got it done. They played a strong enough team. And obviously Plymouth could have quite easily still took it to penalties, but they missed that penalty at the end. And Kepa may not be their main goalkeeper anymore, but he is always very good in penalty shootouts, isn't he? So yeah, excellent result for Chelsea, but it was hard work for them. On to Everton versus Brentford. Frank Lampard's first game at Goodison Park. Obviously, the sacking of Rafa Benitez has done them wonders here. Without a shadow of a doubt, a new manager bounce was in full effect here. I think Lampard's a great appointment for Everton. I think he did great at Derby, didn't he? Let's face it, regardless of the fact that he was with them, like, he did do a good job. He went to Chelsea too soon, in my opinion, and he probably should have stayed with Derby a bit longer. But I think Everton is a very good fit. You look at the game, though, Mina to the lead for Everton. Richarlison would obviously lob their goalkeeper, David Raya, who I looked at his stats on SofaScore, and he got a 5.6 rating. Which is not really a surprise because he conceded 4 goals, but incredible performance from Everton. Really played some good stuff. Everton go on to face Bournemouth in the next round, and obviously we'll get onto them very soon. In fact, you know what? We'll talk about them next, being as I just mentioned them there. Bournemouth versus Bournemouth. Championship versus non-league. It had all the makings to be a pretty straightforward win for Bournemouth. Doing amazing in the league, making some incredible signings. Not even a week. Well, it was a week ago, wasn't it, on deadline day? But no, just didn't work, did it? You look at the stats: 82% of the ball for Bournemouth, 18 shots, only 2 on target. That clearly is the issue. They were not clinical enough, and Bournemouth only had 2 shots, and that was one of them was obviously from Ricketts, their captain. Obviously, it was quite a poor, scuffy goal to concede, and Bournemouth should be incredibly embarrassed and disappointed by that result. And I know their main aim's promotion, and they but certainly will go up. But yeah, that just shows that they are still a bit frail at times, and it's the magic of the cup. It is the magic of the cup. Big teams underestimate the small ones, and we've seen it so many times. On to Liverpool versus Cardiff. The first half of this game was quite mediocre. Liverpool weren't really at it. Again, I think they were kind of not really in their stride against a team like Cardiff, obviously having a very poor year. Obviously beat my team last week, of course, in the Championship, and deservedly so. I thought Cardiff gave a good account of themselves, though, but obviously Liverpool just had, significantly more quality. But from the very start of the second half, Liverpool were on it. It was obviously a free kick from Trent, and it found Jota, and it was, pretty straightforward, really. Obviously followed up by a Minamino goal. He always seems to score in the cups, doesn't he? And the third goal, very, very happy for Harvey Elliott. He's been out for 4 months at least. He got injured against Leeds in September for Liverpool, and great to see him come back, and what was a fantastic goal as well. And fair play to Cardiff. They got a goal back from Ruben Colwell, obviously a player that scored against my team, obviously twice at the City Ground earlier in the season, but it was when Chris Hughton was the manager, so not really a surprise. So on to Southampton versus Coventry City. I think this is a really interesting game. Classic case of Championship versus Premier League, but not prime Premier League, but they're still a decent Premier League side. How many times can I say Premier League in one go? For Coventry, it'd be Ben Sheaf that would end up finding Victor Gyökeres. Gyökeres, we'll call him one of those two. He ended up scoring after 22 minutes. It was very much against the run of play because it was very much Southampton dominance, as you would expect. But my God, Stuart Armstrong. That goal, ridiculous. Look at the angle on the replay. Like, I don't know how we did it. It curves into the bottom, into the top of the net. You look at Benjamin Pavan's goal at the World Cup against Argentina, very similar to that. And I'm not saying Stuart Armstrong's as good as Pavan, but of course Coventry did hold Southampton for quite some time still, and it would end up being Kyle Walker-Peters, the fullback, of course, getting the winning goal. And Coventry were denied the chance to take it to penalties. 3 shots in very quick succession at the end, and that would ultimately not count for anything because the third shot would be ruled offside. So, good account of themselves for Coventry, and obviously Southampton through to the next round. So, we move on to Manchester City versus Fulham. Obviously, Fulham have been incredible this season in the Championship, but it's a classic case again. We're seeing that when in the Premier League, they're just not good enough, and they're going to go up for a 3rd year in a row, and they're all but certainly going to come down for a 3rd year in a row. It's going to, no, is it? I think it will be a 3rd year in a row, even 4. I've lost count. It just shows that boring. You know, outclassed completely again, and they did take the lead for Carvalho, but obviously within about 10 minutes they were losing from Gundogan and Stones, and then obviously Mahrez got 2 in the second half. A great assist from KDB. Spurs beat Brighton 3-1. A fantastic goal from Harry Kane. Obviously. Excellent goal from him. Obviously, he's really thriving now under Antonio Conte. I think Spurs in general are really thriving under Conte. Brighton, yeah, weren't the best performance, and then of course Bissouma got a goal back for them. Obviously, got an own goal for Spurs as well, and of course we saw Kane get a second 3 minutes after Bissouma got his goal. It was a good goal from Bissouma as well. But yeah, Spurs through to the next round. Can they actually win a trophy? Probably not, to be fair. This is a very big result though for Norwich. A 3rd win in a row in all competitions, beating Wolves 1-0 away from home. Did not expect that, and I think Norwich are really showing that they're not over just yet. They want to stay up. Can they actually stay up? Could Fulham and Norwich be in the same division next season? Imagine that. I need to check. When was the last time they were in the same division? I put it up on the screen. It would have been a long time ago. Quite an evenly matched game when you look at the stats, really, but fair play to Norwich. They're looking good right now, but this is very poor for Wolves. You know, they would have wanted to try and go on a bit of a cup run. They got to the semi-finals a few years ago, of course, but obviously poor result for them, and all they can really play for now is a place in Europe next season. A pretty routine win for Crystal Palace, beating Hartlepool United 2-1 at Selhurst Park. Michael Olise on fantastic form. What a fantastic player he's been for them this season. He's really made the step up to the Premier League look quite straightforward. I know this is against Hartlepool, but he got an assist and a goal, and a great goal as that. So yeah, fair play to him and Palace. It probably should have been more. They had 21 shots, but yeah, pretty standard. And Palace obviously got to the final a few years ago, and I think they got to the quarterfinals or semi-finals since. So yeah, hopefully for them, they can do another good job in the cup this season. A routine win for Stoke really against Wigan, and it was quite a rotated side for Wigan. Obviously they're doing well in League One this season. They should be coming back up after 2 years away. And obviously Stoke, they were playing, you know, pretty much a full strength team. Josh Maja within 14 minutes got a goal on his debut for Stoke, and obviously Jacob Brown came off the bench and got the second. A great goal from him. And Tyrese Campbell, I thought he was really good in this game as well. Whenever he plays, he's just an instant threat for Stoke. I'm looking forward to seeing Stoke play Forest next week, and that will be, even though Stoke are not doing well in the league, you know, they've really dropped off. I think it will still be quite a tough game for us. Huddersfield beating Barnsley 1-0. It's business as usual really for Barnsley, isn't it? Losing yet another game with hardly any fight. Again, it appears like exactly the same case. It was quite a low-key game when you look at the stats at the very least, but Barnsley just do not have the quality in front of goal. You know, they need it, and they're lacking it quite seriously, and not having Woodrow doesn't help, but I don't even think they're going to really improve when he comes back. But obviously Dwayne Holmes got the goal for Huddersfield in the first half, his second goal in the last week. Obviously scored against his old side Derby as well in the Championship, which was pretty funny. So yeah, standard win really for Huddersfield, and of course we play them, Forest play them in the next round, and we're going to be guaranteed a Championship team in the quarterfinals, which is great. 2 games left. We've got Cambridge versus Luton Town, a 3-0 win for Luton. Luton on fantastic form right now. Obviously Cambridge pulled off one of the shocks of the tournament, beating Newcastle in the last round away at St James's Park. Incredible, obviously beating the richest team in the world. But they couldn't do it here. They're not doing well in League One, so it really was a massive fluke for them. Luton, standard win, 3-0 goals coming, well, 2 of them in the first half, comfortable, and they got 1 towards the end as well, which is a great goal from Musquick. I hope I said his name right. It was Reece Burke and Carlos Gomez that got the goals in the first half as well for Luton. Quite a rotated side, but they still got the job done. And the final game, a very disappointing result for QPR, and the second time this season they have lost to Peterborough, a 2-0 defeat. And you look at the stats again, it's just like Bournemouth. Loads of the ball, loads of shots, but you look at the shots that they had compared to the ones that were on target. 16 shots, 3 on target is not good enough for QPR. And okay, yeah, I think their eyes are on promotion, but they should have been beating Peterborough, because Peterborough could quite easily be in League One next season. And I suppose for them you could say it's a distraction to be in the FA Cup still, but they're most likely going to get knocked out in the next round because they have Man City. But excellent result for them. They took the chances from Ricky J. Jones, and obviously a goal from Joel Ward in the first half. So yeah, great result for them, but a poor result for QPR. So that is my review of the FA Cup 4th round. If you would like me to do this for the 5th round, which is in 3 weeks' time on the 2nd of March on a Wednesday, which is really weird. If you'd like me to do it then, please let me know. If you have enjoyed this different kind of video, because I don't normally do this, please hit the like button on it. It will help out massively, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Check out my Leicester vlog as well, and if you're not aware, these are the FA Cup 5th round ties. A chance for Forest to be in the quarterfinals for the first time since 1996, like I said at the start of the video. Hope you enjoyed. See you very soon.